Hi and welcome to the Marketing Week. I'm Lucy Tesseris, I'm the Features Editor at Marketing Week, and this is Mindy Chahal, who's Features Writer. So Mindy, this week's cover feature is about the impact of short-termism and the fact that marketers are increasingly focusing on short-term metrics at the expense of long-term brand building. So how did that feature come about?
So at Cannes this year, the IPA released a report saying that marketers are basically chasing short-term metrics over long-term brand building, and that's affecting creativity. So I took basically the basics of that report and did a bit more of a deeper dive into what are the reasons behind marketers taking that short-term look and what are the effects of that. So that's really where it came from.
Okay, so whose responsibility is it to balance short-term and long-term goals?
So it's quite easy here to blame the marketers, but there's several things at play. You've got the rise of digital, you've got shrinking marketing budgets, you've got short-term agency contracts. So it's not just that the marketers are at blame here, because there's so many factors that they have to deal with, which is increasingly causing them to chase those short-term metrics. One of those things that I argue in the piece this week is about the fact that CEOs and the CFO constantly want those quarterly results, which is then resulting in these campaigns that are chasing short-term. So an example this week of a brand that's taking a long-term strategy is Ted Baker. Lucy, do you want to run through what their latest campaign is?
Yes, so Ted Baker launched a 3-minute short film this week directed by Guy Ritchie. And the unique thing about the video is that everything within it is shoppable. It's a concept which the brand trialled over Christmas last year and proved fairly successful. They reported that all of the items that featured within that video in terms of engagement and sales all saw about 30% uplift, which is really, really positive results. Ted Baker has said that it's going to be part of a long-term strategy for the brand and that they will be investing further in this concept and this idea going forward. In other news this week, another brand which has kind of long-term brand building kind of at its core is Apple, and we saw the launch of the iPhone 7 this week. So what are your thoughts on that, Mindy?
The much-awaited launch of the iPhone 7. These events are always massive, and it's interesting because the Ted Baker video strategy isn't new, and arguably the stuff that Apple launched this week isn't new either. So water-resistant wireless technology, but you have to give it to them. They are future thinkers. They have gotten rid of the headphone jack, which obviously everyone uses because they know that the future is wireless technology. And I think even though some of the technology is copied from phones that are already out there, I think this launch has been the biggest changes that we've seen for Apple in a very long time, and that's big news and probably good news for marketers too.
So it'll be interesting to see if it actually has an impact on their sales going forward as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Please do join us again next time when we'll be discussing more of the marketing news that matters.